Okay, so all that's pretty scary. You may be wondering, how can I steer clear of any of these kinds of problems? Well, we've got a couple of recommendations for you. The first thing and the most important thing for you to do is to read that handbook very carefully and make sure you understand exactly what is expected of you under the honor code. If you have difficulties interpreting what the honor code means, speak to a member of the administration or student services or with a faculty member to make sure that you know what the expectations are. Beyond that, here are a couple of other tips for steering clear of academic integrity problems. First, and this applies to a couple of different circumstances, seek help if you are overwhelmed with your course load, if you feel like you're getting behind, rather than attempting a quick fix that involves an honor code violation that could put your degree at risk. Some students run into these problems because they're having difficulty with their English language skills, or perhaps they're going through a crisis with their spouse or partner, or you may have family troubles that are distracting you, whether the family's with you or on the other side of the world. If for any reason you're having trouble keeping up with your work, seek assistance from your professors and from your tutors before you take any shortcuts that violate the honor code. It's better for you to meet with your professor and try and work out a plan for overcoming your problems than trying to explain after the fact why you violated the honor code. Violating the honor code only makes matters worse. You've gone from being behind in your classes to being behind and being on disciplinary probation, and possibly making yourself subject to other sorts of sanctions. Now, your professors are not obligated to give you special consideration for not so serious problems that you may be experiencing, but faculty members are human, or at least most of us are human, and a faculty member may be willing to help you through a difficulty. The deans and the faculty member will be reasonable in helping you through whatever complications you're experiencing, but make sure that they're genuine complications, not problems that you made yourself. Don't expect a professor to move a final exam because you wanted to save a little money on your travel budget, so you bought an airline ticket for a flight that leaves halfway through the final exam. You probably won't get much sympathy in a case like that. If you feel that a professor is not making appropriate accommodation for a problem that you're experiencing, you may want to speak with the dean. The dean may be willing to speak with the professor on your behalf. Some students get themselves into trouble because they don't pay attention to the instructions for an assignment. In particular, some students work together on assignments that are intended to be done individually by the students themselves. Or sometimes they work together on an assignment where it is permitted to work together with other students, but they don't read the directions carefully and don't, say, put their name on the assignment with their partner so that the professor can compare the two and understand that the work was done together. If you're uncertain about the rules for an assignment, ask the professor. If you're not sure about how to give references, footnotes, citations, how to format quotes in your written work, speak with your professor or seek out the help of one of the writing tutors. You'll be given additional information on how to do this at the beginning of the year and in your management communications classes. Now, please note the passage in the student handbook that describes the requirements for behavior during tests and exams. During exams, absolutely no communication among students is permitted. None. Zero. If you are unclear about what a question on the exam means, raise your hand, get the attention of the professor, the proctor, or the invigilator, whoever's managing the exam, and get an opinion from him or her. Do not ask the person sitting next to you for help. Remember, there is to be no communication between students. Though you may not have been seeking special help by speaking to the person next to you, you technically have violated the honor code. And in any case, who says that your next door neighbor knows what the question means? It's probably best to get it from the authority. Now, also concerning exams, be sure you understand exactly what kinds of assistance you are permitted to bring into the room. Be clear whether or not you are allowed to bring in notes, books, formula pages, tattoos that have information relative to the exam. Ask the professor if you are unclear. Again, this is another case where ignorance of the ground rules is no defense. Well, that's about all for this brief introduction to academic integrity at Hult. To sum things up, Hult places great value on maintaining this important community value of academic integrity. Students who violate the honor code are subject to severe punishments, and therefore it is very important that they understand the expectations that are set for them as they enter the school. So again, over the next year, you'll invest a considerable amount of time, money, and effort in your education. We hope you don't jeopardize your efforts by violating Hult's honor code or by failing to do your part to maintain the high standards that everyone expects of the school. A strong Hult means a valuable degree for everyone. You'll be hearing more about this topic as time passes. So good luck to you with your preparations, and we look forward to seeing you on campus.